Hi everyone, it's been such a long time since I recorded something in English language, so I apologize for it because there's a lot of you I met past years, actually hundreds of people. But of course, our time sped up it's so fast right now. And on the Polish side of this channel, there are thousands of people who are I'm working with them basically on daily basis, participate in a workshop, doing also workshops online. So I had no idea that actually my art that you see behind me still will take me to in such a direction in life that we are going to work in a collective, individually, and expound so much and learn so much about our consciousness, ancestors tree, what it means for us, and that 95% of what we think, feel, it doesn't even belong to us. This is pretty extraordinary. But this one is for you, for my friends all over the world. I'm greeting you warmly. For those of you that I met probably once, but I know that it was very meaningful, and you are in my contacts somewhere there, sometimes just on Instagram. But we had this minute of the conversation and inspiration, the deep thought right there, or a question, simple question where you learn about what I do in life. That is absolutely inspiring for making so many materials online. So today, for those of you who were asking me about relationships and why so many people out there are suffering, whether they are alone or they are not finding the right match, or they just don't want to be in a one relationship, and is that bad? How to go, how to navigate? Is it that culture? Is it something about differences between men and women? And there is so much specialists around the world, so many therapists, and they all are very good. The ones that are writing books about it, and they have such a long years of research behind them. I also love to hearing those podcasts. But everyone is different. Everyone has a different case. So it all comes down to your ancestors, the way you were raised up, and what kind of patterns, thought forms, what's going on in the collective. And unfortunately, everyone, of course, heard about family constellation and was maybe even advised to do session with family constellation, and some of you maybe got a little bit disappointed by it because it all depends who's doing that, what is the knowledge of this person, how intuitive this person is. So what I propose you today is to absolutely follow your own intuition and finding out in your own ancestors tree. You don't have to participate in the groups because the energy in the groups, if there is a lack of awareness and people do that for the very first time, and if the specialist is not experienced enough, it may happen that you are dreamt into the process of someone else for such a long time that you may act it out for another days. And this is what people are most of the times complaining to me about, that they absolutely never again will do such thing as family constellation in their life. But they still are left with those questions about how to solve those pains, why those families, connections between children and parents are not going so well, why we are tend to repeating every aspect of parents' life, why we want to be so different, but we keep on repeating those patterns. So here is a little bit about the information about how to approach it, what you can do today for yourself to help yourself and not get help from anybody else, so you can address something, and just an awareness about certain topics may already change what you are going through. So number one, I'm addressing everyone who wrote me past months considering unhappy relationships with spouse, bad marriages, however you call it, bad relationships, toxic relationships, narcissistic, however you call it. So The first actually message is bad for some people, because I would say that we always draw what we are inside, what we are rejecting in ourselves, what we try to suppress, also what we went through in childhood but try to stay away and run away from it. It's going to catch us because it has the message, and this is the bad news, but the rest is a very good news. So you can absolutely work it out. You can absolutely do something about it. And the absolutely first thing, when you trace what is the reason that you drew a particular person, or you think that this is a narcissist, whether it's a woman or a man, or this is toxic, is to look at your parents. And I'm sorry that everyone who did not have happy childhood, it's not about happy or unhappy childhood, would say, I'm not going to take a look at that, I'm not ready, or it was not going well, so what now? I'm going to suffer my whole life? No, not really. But knowing the pattern, just the knowledge about knowing the pattern, how it was in your family tree, it will give you instant access about decoding what you can do today for yourself to change it. The absolutely number one is to honor your parents, honor your old ancestors, and even if there was some sort of an abuse, some sort of bad things happened. For example, I had a client that had the worst kind of abuse from the parents you could possibly imagine, and now these kind of affairs coming out in Hollywood, among celebrities and so on. What is important is to acknowledge the figure that was behind that was doing such thing, because it started somewhere there. So acknowledge the whole ancestral tree, that this happened in my family tree. This thing happened. It's just seeing that energy that was the most disruptive. It helps already, that energy that is chasing everyone, trying to manifest through people in the worst possible way, to address only something that is energetically present. You feel it and it needs to express itself. But looking at that and say, I see you for the first time. You exist in the worst possible form. You exist. You went from my ancestors, you reached my, some parts, some people in my family. This already gives enormous release for that energy, so you do not have to continue, so your children or someone in your family tree. And this is the absolutely most crucial thing to see, to not run away, but to see what happened. After that, we are finding the coding, the codes. And it may happen that one of your parents, shortly before they were departing from this world, whether they cursed you, say something negative, you basically had maybe difficult relationship with them, but before they went away, they told you some negative things. So very often they are passing the ancestors' power in the most possible way. They do not have maybe tools, they do not know how to do that. They maybe were not very positive people, but they just want to pass what's the core of their energy to you, and this is how it manifests. So if you are able to see that, and this is what we do on those sessions, you can change it and turn it into your power. For example, someone aggressive. This actually happened with recently with one of my clients. So the father just said very terrible words to the daughter, and I'm not gonna repeat those because we are on YouTube. So there was a lot of cursing and what she should do, and he was very, very aggressive. So we work with that energy. So she was always a victim for other people, and this father was having the energy that she actually needed to acknowledge in her life. And when it's acknowledged, it becomes something constructive, someone who has strong borders. And this is exactly what the energy through him, through his ancestors, tried to go to her so she can manage with her further life. And once that is decoded, done, and new pattern is born, then you can actually receive so much more power from your ancestors tree. The more you are fighting with those so-called bad energies, the more you have struggle in your life, because there is this saying, like mother and father and your ancestors are like gods, and you cannot win with gods. The longer you are fighting them, the worse your life takes a course, because you're trying to cut yourself off, your roots. If you do that, you have nowhere to go to. You have no root, you have no stability, and then you don't know who you are. If you don't know what energies are running through you, forcing you to do some things, you don't understand yourself. How can you navigate safely through this world when just around the corner there are thousands of people telling you what to do? So this is why this is so important to acknowledge your ancestors' tree. However you do it is fine, however you choose. You can go to the grave, you can offer them a prayer. You can offer if you are Catholic, quite a Catholic prayer. You can offer them your own prayer. You can just talk to them, just like you are talking with your friend. You can also express everything what they have done. This happened to me, this happened to me, this happened. But you gave me still a life, and for that I honor you and I respect you. And these are the most simple and important words that you can do it today, and you can just acknowledge them, that they, however they were, they gave you the most important gift. They gave you life. And if there is absolutely nothing else they offered, they gave you life that you can shape. You can shape. And if you take that power from them and you understand it, you can do something beautiful even from the ashes. So I'm not suggesting to perform a phoenix for everyone, but this is a huge start for everyone, because basically I don't know personally anyone who had problems in their ancestors' tree with parents, with the family issues, and they build up a very happy relationships. They were always there. Of course, there are exceptions to this, but there is always something was happening until they just acknowledge, okay, my parents are this way. Okay, I can accept it. I can do it like that. But acceptance, the way they are, and drawing from what was good, what they passed to you, can absolutely heal and help you on your life path. You don't have to take everything from them. You don't have to become like them. You can make it your own life, but they gave you absolutely the most important thing. They gave you the roots, and they gave you the power, the life force, that if you use it right, you can shape your destiny and you can make a difference to this world, because you are very important. There is this theory, of course, if you are here on Earth, that means you are very important. So to be here to make a difference, and we are living in extraordinary times. So this is basically what we are doing on the sessions, whether individual or on workshops, online sessions, or just, with me, whatever we meet in the groups. If you do have a venue, if you do have a group that you would like to invite me and see how that works, how this works, so you can decide for yourself, let me know about it. If you're interested in session one-on-one, also write to my Gmail, joanna.pilatowicz. You have it on my website, which is also Joanna Pilatowicz, at gmail.com. And you can learn more about me also on my website if you are here for the very, very first time. So bless your ancestors and prosper, and just let your life be more and more prosperous, so you can follow your best path in life. Till the next time. Bye bye.